Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Journals by Jadis. This is Carrie, and I wanted to share with you a journal that I guess I'm gonna go ahead and put the completed stamp on it, which I know sometimes can be hard to do. But the backstory on this one is for Dear Julie Julie's monthly challenges that she has. One of the challenges was this goes back to February, was the February Finally Finish It Junk Journal Challenge. And so it's a finished yet unfinished yet finished journal, if that makes any sense. What this was originally was an altered book. And I mean, it's still an altered book, but it was an altered book in a different way. It was with the pages still intact, and I had covered up and layered on pages, and I had torn pages out and done that kind of altered book. But I never really liked where it was going. So I loved the outside, I didn't like the inside. So for her challenge back in February, it was grab a journal that's unfinished and let's finish it. So in her challenge, there's a list of things, to do. So like a fluffy tassel or a flip-flop or just different challenges like, large tags with a collage on it. And so I jumped into that challenge, but yet again didn't complete the journal because I left some of the elements from that challenge undone. Now, I don't consider that a failure because now I do have a product or a completed journal that I actually really do love, even though I didn't finish the February challenge. So I don't feel horrible about it, but because it did inspire me to get this journal finished, I just didn't have it completed for February's challenge. So with all that, that's kind of the backstory of how this came to be. And now it is a journal that I absolutely love. And part of me has not wanted to record the video because, it's one of those, is it finished? Is it not finished? But I'm pretty sure it's finished. And I don't know if I want to list it in my Etsy because I love it so much. So anyways, just wanted to share with you what I do have, and then we'll see what its fate is. So it is an altered book. So this is a hardcover book. I think it was a Mark Twain book. That I had. A friend of mine had given me a collection of old books that were kind of shabby condition, but I knew that I wasn't going to read. They were given to me for free, and I decided to when I got into junk journaling, I'm like, well, I need a book to alter. So I went into my stash, and that's how it came to be. The outside of it is decoupage napkin with Mod Podge on it, and then this is upholstery fabric, and then it's 3 signatures. So that was the other difference is before it was an altered book of regular book pages, and this I actually took all the pages out, restructured the whole book, and then I sewed in the signatures. So let's open it up. On the inside is some printed paper from, I can't remember where the source is that I got it, but that I had in my stash. And then this was actually a challenge piece. It was a journal card. It had to have certain things. So it had to have like a flag, had to have a strip of washi, something address book possibly. I can't remember. So this was, I believe, a piece. It's supposed to have a doily. This was one of the elements from it. So some of the elements from the challenge are in here, and some other things have been added, and not all of the elements from the challenge were met. This is part of a greeting card, a piece of a greeting card. This is an altered, so this is a window envelope that I created a tag to go into. It kind of has a collaged thing on the front. I won't put anything back in pockets. Here's another pocket here. This is a large, it could be a journaling tag, but it's also a pocket with a couple tags in there. I reused a lot of greeting cards, thank you cards, sympathy cards, that kind of thing. This is a napkin decoupage onto a book page. This is a page out of a gorgeous book. I can't remember the author, and I know it's just sitting over on my shelf, but she does just really beautiful. It was almost like a journal, kind of, I would guess, in like an Edith Holden style as far as journaling and images and watercolor images and pictures. So that's a pocket there. This was a page out of a gardening book that I had. A stencil book page, coffee stained paper, a homemade greeting card. A friend of mine gave me a stack of greeting cards. I don't know where they came from, but this is one that had been stamped on and hand colored. So this is a handmade greeting card. Piece of paper. This is a fabric pocket on one of those transfer pages, but it's this transfer page happened to have flowers on it, which I thought so it's kind of got a garden theme. Just a scrap piece of tea-dyed paper, a tag with some grid paper on the back. Let's see. I kind of did some, are they called deckled edges, like the scissors to give a decorative edge. Some more random papers, a piece of music paper that I made a pocket out of. This was actually the envelope flap on an envelope that I turned into a smaller envelope, which I thought turned out kind of cool. So you can still see like the glue from the original envelope flap. Again, another greeting card that I turned into a journaling tag. I thought this was cute. It's a book page, but it's this beautiful garden, like very large garden. And a little description there, and then, you know, it's a book page, so there's another side to it. But I thought it was very pretty. Some more paper. I love this. This came out of a journal that it was like half of its daydreams and half of its night dreams. So you would read it one way and then you would flip it upside down and then you could read it the other way, and that's where you would keep your night dreams. So there's also a paper that has a moon on it. This I saw from Treasure Books of what to do with large pages. I did this a long time ago, probably last summer. But put it in the center signature so there's journaling space there. You could close it up also and make it an envelope if you wanted. The other side of the sun paper, the back side of everything. This is just a large journaling card. This is like handmade paper that I have out of a book. This is one of Dear Julie Julie's. I think it's called maybe a flip-flop, but it's some extra journaling space. Lined paper, just the other side of everything. This was just kind of a collage page. So this entire thing was taken out of the original altered book, but I really liked it, so I just restuck it down to a different page, to a new paper. This is the other side of that hand-stamped card. More paper. This is a small tuck spot made out of some cardboard from a beverage box. This is a guest check, altered guest check kind of journaling tab type thing. Just some stamped paper, coffee dyed paper. This is the second signature, I believe. Oh no, this is the end of the first signature, I'm sorry. With another altered window envelope, kind of a tag and a pocket for it. This is so this one was for May. I will tell you, this book, because these pages were thrifted, I left this here. Some of the book had been written in. So to cover up some of the parts that had been written, I put, you know, other elements to it. But in some places, I left the handwriting of the original owner in there. Greenhouse, I thought that was kind of funny. Oops, let me close that. This is from a magazine or a book that I have that's all about different kind of homes, like what they're called, you know, like the Elizabeth or the, you know, the Brittany, whatever the name of the type of the home, whoever created the home, the architect. This is a pocket that I don't have anything in currently, but it's a window. So this was a greeting card, and I fussy cut this entire, around the picket fence, I fussy cut all that out. There is acetate there, so it makes a window, and then behind it is some cardstock that had a sky image and a garden, so I thought it was pretty on its own, or you could use it as a pocket. This is the other side of that. Some more paper. Each signature has the same elements to it, the same types of paper, and in the same order. So like the sunshine paper, the music paper, the garden paper, like that kind of stuff. This is from one of my digitals, just the kind of, you know, like card, like letter alphabet cards. Another journaling card from a greeting card. This is that same book page that I was talking about. This came out of the same book. I've got it on a strip of washi, and then on the other side is actually just a piece of cardstock. It was like a 6x6 paper pad that I used. Here's an envelope in the middle, just another card letter thing, another scrap piece of paper. Let's see, there we go. I wasn't going to fuss with it, but I did. So now on to the second side of everything in the second signature, and this is an altered playing card that I did. This is out of a book of kind of quote type thing. So the word was goodness, and then underneath it was this. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. John Wesley. So this is an altered playing card, but I used both pieces on there, which I thought was kind of neat. This came out of these are like cardstock letters, and it's an O, but I just liked the shape of it, so I kept it. But it's a tuck spot. This is just a piece of paper that I turned into an envelope by rounding the edges and stuff. So that could be used as an envelope or journal. You can journal on it. Some more of the transfer. This is from a cross stitch magazine. This is another greeting card, and inside it I put a large tag. This is from the Ideals magazine. It was a Mother's Day edition. So the poem is "In a Country Garden," and I tucked that in there. Let's see if I can get it in okay. And then I think there might be another card in here. Yep, another one of those pages from the book that I like so much. See, I'm fighting with it. Just leave it alone. And then here's another one of those home images from that book. So I'm trying to keep it in frame. So down below it was like all the specs, like, oh, so much square feet, so much, so many bedrooms, that kind of thing. Some more gardening papers. This is the end of the second signature. This is a belly band. This was actually from a tissue box that I thought was kind of cool. So it's a belly band with another greeting card journaling tag in there. So this is the beginning of the third signature. Opens up here, another of the house images. And then this is a little homemade stamp that I added on there as a pull tab. I think the others had it also. Again, another greeting card put in. I fancy cut the corners. This is just a page from a wine book, like a wine tasting book. And then on here is, on the back side of that is a, this is another this is just altered packaging that I kind of collaged on. And then another little journaling tag, but this is just a, this was a collage piece that I cut down and then I glued on top of a little envelope to put here. So that is what that is. And then some more paper. This is a belly band and a journaling spot. So it, obviously you can tuck something behind it. There's a card behind it, but you can open it up for journaling. Also, it was just a piece of note paper. And then there's just an image in the background that, it was because it was on the original altered book. So then I took it out and then I glued it onto another page. With some more paper. And then this, I had seen some inspiration for slow stitching on Instagram, and I basically that day just grabbed a few bits of scraps. I grabbed some embroidery thread, some beads, and I just kind of did my take on that. It by no means is anything fancy. It was just me wanting to work through what I had seen and kind of feel what that felt like to hand stitch in that way. So it's kind of a flip. It's a fabric flip, and then I have a tiny little fabric pocket here with some tiny tags in it. This is from some cardstock that I had. I'm trying to think of the right way to explain it. Like a file folder, like decorative file folder is what it kind of came from. And then this was actually toilet paper roll that I cut up to look like a ticket. Sorry for the outside noise. It's gorgeous out and I have the windows open. That's our mailman leaving from across the street. So I just kind of added some elements to it. Thought it looked like a ticket. This was from an old planner, but it has some nice grid paper on the back and it says grateful for, so I added it. And then the titles to some of the music papers, in the good old summertime. I just thought that was fitting for this type of journal. The music page I made into all pockets. This is from a hummingbird book, like identifying different hummingbirds. And then this is another journaling tag, just some stenciling, some stitching, a couple stickers for embellishment. It actually came from a book that was like 365 Days of Gratitude. So actually this was 365, but the idea was you would flip through it and every day you could write, things that you're grateful for, even if it was just a little bullet point. Some more of the sun paper, an envelope in the middle. I believe this is just plain coffee dyed paper. And then the back side of everything, this is from Priscilla's kit at Release the Craftin'. I think this was February's design team project. It was a piece that I had from there, but I thought that it fit really well with this book, this journal, so I added that as a journaling card or some writing space. And that we're getting close to the end of the third signature. This is just a fabric flip. This is actually, I love using men's ties. They have really great patterns and prints on them, and I love this one, and so I added it here. This is just a kind of cardstock extra writing space. This came from a paper pad that was like, plan out your week. So Sunday, Monday through Wednesday through Saturday, whatever. This grid paper is from a garden planning book. Some more coffee stain paper. This might actually be avocado. It looks a little pink, so it might be. And then one more of those house flip out tabs. This is actually upholstery fabric on the edge. So that's that. And then this is the back side, the last page of the third signature. Hi, kitty. And then on the back side here, this is like a field notebook coloring book page, but it was flowers. And then this is a playing card that I've added here. And then this is out of a little book of inspiration, and they are all dated. And I just thought it was nice. It had some nice things to say there. That was March 4th, and then March 5th was the other date. I may have even chosen the date that I like finished, put this journal all together. Those may have been the dates. I can't really remember. So anyways, and then it's got fabric inside here on the inside spine, holding everything together. So that is my journal share, my journal flip. It's very thready. I left all the threads on, and sometimes I have issue with cutting them off because I'm like, well, we'll just wait and see. Or, maybe whoever it goes home to will cut them. Or, it just depends on what I'm feeling at the moment. But thank you for sticking around, and sorry for the shaking. I'm still working on the whole tripod idea. The problem is I don't have a lot of time to film, and so I forget that I need a tripod until I go to film, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I need a tripod. So I make do with what I have. But thank you. Let me know what you think about this journal in the comments. I may be listing this on Etsy. I'm not entirely sure, so keep an eye out for that. And otherwise, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.